Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Losers Lounge. It's the DNVR Rapids podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, aka Mitchell, aka I don't even have another aka. I'm just too bummed out to even think about another nickname. I am joined, as always, by my esteemed co-counsel, Super Yaya.
Hello.
Hello.
There's nothing much to say. Hello.
There's not much to say. You're right. Good thing we have to talk for about an hour about this right now. So
we're making this a 20-minute pod.
20-minute pod.
I'll read the 10-minute mark and we're done.
Speed read through the ads. I'm good at that. Also joining us from Aurora, it is downtown Duane Brown.
Hello.
How's it going?
Soccer. It's going okay. I mean, the soccer's not great, but it's life is okay.
Yaya's on a vibe at least over there.
It's not going to be 20 minutes when Yaya has the lights on.
Oh, it
That's
will.
true.
I'll make sure.
Rapids lose their sixth straight in a 3-2 loss in Columbus. They get an early goal from Sam. Sam scored in the 8th minute, goes up 1-0. You're thinking, okay, nice. Columbus gets an equalizer before the half. There was probably, would you say there was 3? Rapids probably should have had 3 goals before the break, maybe 4. I generally, it's tough for me to say, well, they should have scored here because, there's always going to be chances in every soccer game, but there were some ones there that you want back. Real tough.
I mean, that's kind of what happens when you have good players. You have decent players, just not great players. Like they don't finish chances, unfortunately.
You get to the break, it's 1-1. You feel like it's at least positive for the Rapids attack, considering the laundry list of injuries, and we can get into that here in a sec. But you're doing okay. But the Columbus just pours it on. They score 3 unanswered. And then, from there, it's you get a consolation goal from Cole Bassett in the 94th minute or 95th minute in extra time, and it was beautiful, but it was too late. It sucks. You saw Remy Cabral make his first team debut. I believe Vargas makes his MLS debut with the first team after playing in the Open Cup. Nice to see Cole back, but guys, where do you want to start with this one? Yeah. Where do you want to go with this?
Oh no, man. There's a million places we could go with this, but
Yeah,
I mean, we can start with the positive, I guess, and then just get more negative as we go and finish on a
Sure.
positive.
Yeah.
Sam Nicholson scored a goal, and it was a pure effort goal.
Sam, man,
It was a tough angle too.
I'll say it every time, but I've been as hard on Sam as anyone, and he's been awesome. Plays on the season. Well, unfortunately, it's only May, so
We're not quite halfway there, folks.
There should be a mercy rule at this point. Just end it if you're
not even close to halfway.
Yeah, just end it already. Mercy rule us, please. Do it for the fans.
Duane, do you think there's sorry, still have this cough from the weekend. Do you think there's any hope at the playoffs at this point?
That's such a loaded question for me. There's there's always hope, but there's not a lot of hope.
Rapids are 5 points out of the playoff spot if the Austin scoreline holds.
I mean, you've got a whole half a season to gain 5 points on somebody. Sure. Anything can happen. People can come back from injury. Other teams can get injuries or start to spiral out of control. So, I mean, only being down 5 points, sure. There's certainly hope. It doesn't feel like there's any hope. Like, I don't feel like we're going to the playoffs because I just don't know if we can turn it around. I don't see how we turn the ship around at this point. It seems.
I mean, you can't score enough goals.
Hard on course as is, which is not going to get us there.
You know it's a difficult sell when there's about, well, if this and if this, and it's just at that point when there's so many ifs involved for you to even make the playoffs as a 9 seed, it's probably not gonna happen, and it sucks to say because I like this team.
Rapid score multiple goals on the road for the third time this season. Third time, fourth time. No, third time. We've only done that at home once, I believe. Tough. It's tough, man. Where are the goals going to come from? Because tonight
The opponent players,
there was what, 4 chances that you would say should have been capitalized on? 5? 2 goals from those?
I mean, we keep saying this over and over again. There's just nobody on the squad right now that is capable of creating anything or taking advantage of anything right now. I give Nicholson all the credit because he's the first guy I've seen in about what, 5 games that he's actually tried something. He's actually given 100% at that
Yeah.
back end, and it worked. And that's the one thing I want to give him credit for, because that's not because of talent. That goal isn't because, oh my god, the other team screwed up, and they did screw up, but it's because Nicholson was looking for it. He was 100% focused on trying to take the ball away, and it was a pure effort goal. And I applaud him for just giving so much shits.
I don't think it was work rate was the problem for the most part. Obviously Sam, you have to give him his flowers for that, but Keegan was working the other side. Lewis, I thought, had fantastic work rate. Ronan, same thing as always. I mean, that's a given. Ronan and Keegan are those guys.
I'm starting to think I'm kind of, Ronan to me has had a few bad games now. Not gonna lie.
Sure, and I'm not gonna say he had a great game, but the motor is there, right? Like,
yeah, the motor, yeah.
And when you take off Lewis and you take off Ronan and you put in Bassett, and who else went in there? It was
Remy.
No, Remy came on with Vargas late. It was
Bassett and Vargas, the first 2 subs.
No.
Yeah,
Cabral. No.
Cabral and is who came on at the end with Bassett.
Well, either way, the point is you replaced 2 of the 3 guys that I say were working the hardest, and you brought on guys that just don't have that motor. They just don't. They don't. Cole does not have that same pressing mentality, and you take off the guys who are working the press and forcing those chances on the counter. And Lewis was shocked when he was. Thank you, Harris. It was Harris. Thank you, B-Ray. Lewis was shocked when he came off. He should have been.
When Lewis
he should have been. Why? Like, what? You have a chance. You had a chance in that game, and you take him off, and they instantly give up the goal. Game's over. This was, I usually give Frazier the benefit of the doubt with the laundry list of injuries and suspensions and all that, but this was not his game to me.
Oh no, man. To me, it comes all down to talent. It really does.
Sure.
When you have a bunch of tryhards, it's really hard to win a game, honestly. And I don't mean that as an insult, because all these guys are good players.
Mm-hmm.
But you still need that one guy that's super talented that can take you above. You look at Columbus tonight. Who did they have? They had Celerion and Cucho. Those are the guys.
Celerion, man, that guy is nice with it, bro.
They're
both light years ahead of everyone on this club.
Exactly. Like, those 2 guys push that club up. You know what I mean? They help elevate everybody on that pitch. And that's something the Rapids are missing, and I keep banging on this drum, but it just makes me super upset because that's an investment they need to make. And until they make that investment, it seems like this club is kind of just spinning its tires over and over again. And in this game, I think it was really obvious when you see players like Ronan, who I thought had a bad game. But even if it was a bad game, it's not because of his own doing. It's because he's just tired, because he's been one of the better players. And Cody makes a great point. Ronan and Max, who have been their production has dropped off a bit, and it hasn't been because, they're just bad. It's been because they've been asked to do so much. And at some point, you can only do that much for so long. And it might be just both guys just kind of need to take a rest, maybe reset, maybe their mentality isn't there anymore because they're not as fresh as they used to be. So just kind of hard to see.
It's a good point. I mean, especially when you're not just missing depth, you're missing starters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Price, obviously, for the season. Rubio has been out for most of the season. Bassett's been out for most of the season. Max is now gone. You just don't have, Yappy's on international duty, still hasn't scored a goal. It's driving me crazy. I've watched every minute of that under 20 and I just need a Yappy goal, but it's tough. When you're up against it, right? So then all of a sudden your subs are two guys who have never played an MLS minute, right? Like that's what you're turning to now, because of how injured this team is. And I was thinking about this on my drive from the office to I basically walked in as the game started today. And it's I feel like we have this very good idea globally of this team, right? They're very injured. They're young. We know the challenges they're facing. It's been a crazy schedule. They've played 2 games a week for a month. And then the game happens, right? And it's like, terrible loss, all hopes out. This sucks. Like, and I think both are, it's so hard to keep that perspective when you're in a 6-game losing streak.
To me, part of this goes down to they weren't good when they were healthy. They weren't winning.
We haven't seen. I don't think we've seen a fully healthy 11.
Well, as healthy as they've been,
sure,
as healthy as they can get. The other thing is, you knew injuries came. It happened last year. They sold us on the fact that, hey, you know what? We're ready. We got a lot more depth. We're going to be ready to go, and we're going to be prepared for these kind of things. And it still kind of just feels like it's not as prepared.
They had 10 people on the list last game. I mean, how can you can't prepare for losing 10 players?
You can't.
You can't.
And again,
no GM in the league can prepare for losing 10 players.
No, again, and to me, I know I blame him a lot, but I blame a lot of Kroenke because I feel like injuries come from how you train and how you get your body ready. And if the facilities aren't up to par, I think that's when things start getting hectic. I blame Kroenke more than the front office. I blame ownership more because that's where the money comes from.
Dang. Get him, yeah.
So I don't blame the front office. Trust me.
Duane, who do you blame? I'm
with Yahya on it. I think the front office has done what they can with what they've been given, which is very little. I hear folks at DMVR always, they defend KSC a lot, but those people are also Nuggets and Avs fans. So the argument you're going to hear is that this is how Kroenke does things. He sets people up to succeed, and when they succeed, he rewards them. We succeeded in 2021, and we didn't get anything spectacular after that. And when things are so broken, you also have to step in as an owner and start to fix those things. And that also didn't happen. So on both ends of the spectrum, I feel like the ownership has let the Rapids down. They're not a presence at the Rapids either. It's not something that you feel, you don't feel that those two things are connected, the ownership and the club. It very much feels transactional, whereas like I bought the team, so I own this thing. But then these other people are going to try and do what they can. So some of the arguments coming in from B-Ray and Jim about it's the front office, Smith who sold our good players.
I don't think Mark Anthony K is a good player. I've been very
upfront about
I'll take Priso and Bombito in the pile of Gam and any time over Mark Anthony K. Anytime.
Yeah.
that argument
But
also that they sold their good players. That's what a team does. Every team
You're
is supposed
supposed
to
to.
have. You're
you're
supposed to start
forced to
going.
do that. Like if you
And
don't understand that it's a business and when you develop young good talent that you flip them, then soccer is going to be very disappointing for you.
also, Kellen wanted
When your
out.
teams are good.
Kellen Acosta
Kellen
wanted out.
wanted out. He was very
Yeah,
upfront about that.
he wanted
Yeah.
to go to Europe when that move did because Porg wanted to keep him. When that move didn't happen, he's like, "I want out." What did Porg do? He flipped him immediately to try to get some value out of him because then his contract was gonna run out and he had nothing else left. And yes, not every other team sells their best players, but who are the players they have? They have 25-year-olds that are MLS bound that are gonna stay in the MLS. The Rapids don't have that. The Rapids they buy Moneyball projects, Kevin Cabrals. They buy guys that haven't worked out in other places and they try to fix them. They've done it with Jonathan Lewis. They've done it with multiple teams, guys on this squad. And the reason they do that is because KFC's not giving the money. And then when those guys actually do develop, like Austin Trusty that came from a Philadelphia team, and they go out to Europe, they don't replace them immediately. It took 2 years to replace them. That other teams replace them immediately. They go one for one or try really hard. Or if not, you end up like LA Galaxy who sells out their players. They don't have any replacements left, and then what do? You sold Sam Vines, then you rented out Lucas Esteves, and now you have a
Man,
hole there.
Lucas not working out really sucks because they have yet to find a left back. And maybe, I mean, look, Pombi's doing a fine job, but like, you're right. There's no, like, you're going to turn to Beta, who's hurt pretty often. And, he can't play 2 games a week for a month, not on the miles he has, right? It's tough. It's really tough. And, losing Max to Max being an idiot sucks big time. That's a huge hole. And that was one of those big money gambles. And we talked about this a lot. You have to gamble, right? If you're a Moneyball team, you have to gamble. The guy who's on Columbus and didn't play tonight, Gus, big gamble, high upside, didn't work. Max, big gamble, high upside, was working. He's now never going to play a professional soccer game again in his life.
Worked a little too hard, in my opinion.
And so.
And the thing is also, that's not the front office's fault too.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to jump on that.
Sure.
Well, it was the front office for not talking to the Brazilian mafia and making sure they didn't work with Max.
I don't see anyone saying
it's just there's whataboutism for every little thing. It's like, and it's then, the point is brought up about, the article that came out today about, Rapids being forced to upgrade their training facilities. I don't know if that's true or not, but a lot of us saw it.
Everything I've heard, that's not true.
Yeah. So. Even if it is true, also not the front office. It's another testament of the ownership not putting money behind the club, So it's just there is a pattern of money not happening. And it's like the argument, kind of like what Yahya was saying, in addition to that, about, other teams don't sell their best players. Well, that's because those teams are given $5 to $7 million to spend on a player, because the ownership is giving them that money to go and compete at a top level. Like, that player is not meant to be bought and come in and flipped. That player is brought in because it's the end of the flip, whereas we are sent projects, and we have to work with what we're given. So it's, I mean, if you're not looking top level at this, I don't know what to tell you.
And honestly, and I'll be honest, my only gripe with the front office, it's that they haven't asked more from KFC publicly, at least, because I don't know what they do privately. I don't work behind the scenes. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, to me, it's very, and I get why. Like, you're not gonna go out there and talk to your boss, but that's my one gripe. I don't know what goes on back there. I don't know what KFC is telling them, but what you do need is to invest in the squad with money, cash. It's what it is right now. This is just what is it called? This is land. This is land for Cronky when you go
Yeah.
out to Dick's. That's
Real
where he's
estate.
making his.
It's real estate.
It's all real estate for him. It's a great way for him to make money without having to invest in a team for long periods of time. I've said it over and over again. You can't build an MLS squad the way you build a Nuggets or Av squad. You can do that constantly in the NBA, in the NHL, because if you're bad, you get high draft picks and then you draft your players.
Well,
Then
the
you can
best players in the world are available in those drafts, and that is not how the MLS works.
exactly.
Like you hit on Bombi, great, but that's not, this is the most combed over group of
Super
prospects
rare.
in any sport on the planet.
In,
You're really searching for gems.
Exactly, and that's my thing. You can't build that way. So that argument of like, well, if you play good, then they'll reward you. That's not how that works. They had the biggest issue, the biggest problem the Rapids have is that they did good in 2021 with the lowest salary in all the league and without
Mhm.
any expensive players because that made the Cronkies think that you don't need to spend a lot of money on a team for it to be good in the MLS. That's
If
been the Rapids' biggest downfall because you cannot build a squad the same way you build an NBA squad, an NHL squad, even an NFL squad that you have draft picks and you just trade for other guys' contracts and you're good to go. That's not how that works. It'll never work that way. And the only way to get good is invest a little bit of money. I'm not asking for 20 million, 10 million on one player. Give me 5 to 7 million, and you can go get a Honey Mukhtar, just like
soccer
Nashville
is
did.
pure capitalism, baby. There's, what I mean? Like the rich are going to do well, and those that don't want to pinch pennies will not. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this is just to kind of play devil's advocate to B-Ray's point there. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they make the playoffs, which they're 5 points from being out of the play-in right now, and into just the playoffs, they would make the playoffs 3 times in 4 years. I think most people would be pretty stoked about that. Doesn't feel good though, right? Like doesn't feel good. You can say 3 out of 4, which most people, okay, cool, 3 out of 4, but the feeling is not. It doesn't feel like they would make it 3 out of 4. That's how bad last year was, and that's how bad it's been this season.
I mean, before we continue to rant, we should probably do an ad break.
Ugh. You know what makes me feel better from all this crap that we deal with? Looking good.
I can't wait to hear.
I like to throw on a fit, go outside. Oh, it's sunny. Bam! Shady Rays. Complete the fit. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you listener, they have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. That's not all. I know you thought that was it, but it's not. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact. From building playsets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime, Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. You can shop the entire collection at their brand new location, Park Meadows Mall, a full stop shop for all things Shady Rays. If you don't love Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Today, right now, if you go to shadyrays.com, their Memorial Day sale is still going and you will get 35% off all sunglasses. If you are listening to this after the fact, go use promo code DNVR and you get half off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by 250,000 people in 5 Rapids by the 3 of us right here. When you get inside, take off those Shady Rays, turn on Fubo TV. Fubo TV has 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. Stream live TV from any device. Watch the most Colorado sports at the lowest price you can. Start watching immediately with a 7-day free trial. There is no contract. There is no cable. There is no hassle. You just sign up and you start watching immediately. You get 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. You can watch local teams while traveling. All sorts of stuff coming up. You have NHL draft on ESPN. You have the NBA finals with the Nuggies. You have the PGA Championship, F1, UFC, all sorts of stuff, and you can watch them all on Fubo. Go to FuboTV.com/DNVR to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro.
I'm literally watching CCL on Fubo TV right now. The CCL final.
As we speak.
As we speak. If you like the CCL, another competition that just sucks to watch if it's on your team, it's a great way to watch it.
It also sucks if your team is the Rapids and they're playing in it and losing to a Guatemalan club.
Oh my god, bro!
Remember that?
Oh, do I remember? That was the first games we covered as the Rapids beat, bro. Like, do I remember? Was that your first time at the press box?
Yeah.
Oh my!
It was 0 degrees.
I remember. Pepper Ridge Farms remembers.
It was the worst. That sucked. Man. It was a fun game too. Max scored. We were all convinced that $1 million was going to pay off. He didn't score again until this season. So
who would have thought that $1 million was worth $12K?
$12K. $12,000.
Math doesn't add up.
Math ain't mathin'. Do we have anything else you want to hear from this? Here's one thing I wanted to bring up, and then I'll let you guys, if you have any other notes, we'll hit on those before our flowers section. But one, I do think the 5 back with Keegan and Blank on the other side is nice when you are using the speed up top, when you're actually using it correctly up top. It's so nice when you see Lewis pressing, when you see Sam pressing. I guess, I want to see Yappy back and in it. I really do. I do think he can add some to that. But
real quick on the Yappy thing, real quick. I wanted to ask you this, that you're a Nuggets guy.
Sure.
You followed the Nuggets for a long time. Do you remember Jamal's rookie year when he went 13-0, 0 for 13 for the first 4 games? Do you think that's kind of a Yappy?
He didn't hit a 3. Yeah, he didn't hit a 3 for 2 weeks or something.
Do you think that's gonna be a Yappy situation? Once he scores, he just kind of gets going?
I mean, I hope so. Shit. Yeah. I don't know. Look, he's looked really good in the red, white, and blue down in Argentina. Hasn't been able to get the finish, but he's looked really good at the ball at his feet in traffic. He's made some really nice runs. He's played outside. He's played inside. He's kind of played as a target guy. I just really hoped he was going to go get goals. Even if it was against Fiji, right? He started against Fiji. Even if it was a goal against Fiji, you just kind of see the snowball start going, right? And he had his moments, he had his chances, didn't finish them, but I do want to see this 5-4-1-ish, whatever, 5 at the back, and then whatever works in the midfield and the attack. I want to see Yappy back involved. I do think work rate wise he can fit in there, but the problem is that goal from Cole was just, that's as class as it gets. Perfect touch, perfect placement. Only so many guys can actually make that goal in a game. But I just feel like the energy when Cole is out there just drops in the midfield. It's so passive. I mean, maybe you guys are seeing this differently, but I can't even remember a Cole moment in this game. And he was on there for half an hour besides the goal at the end.
I'm with you. Part of it's also because I just kind of started spacing now, and I just kind of started looking around and being like, "This is what I chose to live by." The other part is also I didn't hear Badman's name at all in the commentary, so I guess I'm not the best person for this. I don't know if Duane saw anything.
I did, but they were not great. Yeah. I mean, to your point, Mitch. The first half wasn't terrible, and what I enjoyed about the beginning of the game is that we came out with energy and like a sense of like what the Rapids attack is supposed to be, like true counter, move in transition and get the ball and push, and we saw that several times. The ball did not go in several times, but it's like we had the foot on, we had a foot on the gas pedal, and what I've noticed with the Rapids is when we have our foot on the gas pedal, opportunities happen. But it seems like once that's successful, a goal happens, we take the foot off the gas pedal, we start back passing, like before considering, is there something to work with? Let's just default to back pass real quick. We take our foot off the gas pedal and then things go downhill quickly. And that's what tonight felt like again, especially you look at the tale of two halves versus Cincinnati. It was a tale of two halves, and you look at the tale of two halves tonight, we're also two very, very different things. And it's looking at when we put our gas, when we pressed on the gas pedal and started really pushing and forcing the other team to keep up, is when we started to look like we had a chance. But if you're not going to do that for both halves, it's not going to work, so that is just super frustrating because it looked really good at the beginning.
It felt to me, yeah, it was really fun. Sam and Lewis, I was having so much fun.
It was fun.
It was very weird. It wasn't used to that. It was really fun. It felt like they were really, from the second I saw the lineup, it felt like they were like, let's get a win at home on Saturday. That's what it felt like. It felt like, and look, they got the 1-0 lead. They were in it for an hour or so, and little over an hour, but it kind of felt like, especially with the subs and everything, it just felt like, let's try and get one at home, because they've only led for 14 minutes at home this year. That's it. They haven't won. They have more points already on the road. They had 8 all of last year. They have 9 already. And that was all the way back in the Galaxy game, right? So the beginning of May, they already got it.
That's a good point, Texas Viking.
I mean,
I don't think it was all them, but I thought.
Yeah. You have to beat up on a bad defense, and there was a ton of runs, and Columbus really got lucky on a couple chances. Specifically, they should have had a red card. Because Lewis got a touch on the ball and then gets forearm shoved into the ground from behind with no one in between. That's a clear goal scoring opportunity. It wasn't even whistled a foul. That was what was crazy to me. They didn't even get a free kick out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know that it was that they were that awful. It's that I think good, teams, but we were at the beginning.
Yes, correct.
I'm not gonna shit on the team because the other team wasn't good. We played pretty well in those transitions. We didn't finish, which is the Rapids.
The Rapids way, baby, not finishing.
But the thing is, I'm not gonna put this on the other team, like we deserved it because we did play well at the beginning, and we earned those chances that we got. And I think when we play other teams are expecting the bare minimum from our offense, and so that's what they came out expecting. But for the first time that I can remember, the Rapids came out like high energy and really pressing, and it caught them off guard because I don't think they were expecting that, and I really think that comes down to expectation from Columbus, is that they were expecting to play the quote unquote Rapids, and the Rapids showed up with a different start than they normally do. There's a very slow start, and that kills us almost every game, but we came out with the opposite, and it started to make a difference, until it didn't, because we weren't doing that anymore.
I thought the Rapids played well. Don't get me wrong. I thought the Rapids played well, like offensively, but Quinnen all year long has been a liability for Columbus on that back line. And that's who kept getting beat by Nicholson and Lewis and even Acosta, who's not the speediest guy. So, and I'm not saying he's slow because he's fast, just not speedy like Lewis or Nicholson. So that's my one pushback to that. It's that Quinnen had been an issue already for Columbus all year long. And I got to give credit to the Rapids for taking advantage of that and finding a weakness and actually exploiting it and trying to score goals. That's what I'll give them credit because they had the right game plan. Because the second half was a lot different because once more Wakaso, I don't know how to pronounce that name, came on for Quinnen. That defense was a lot more solid, a lot more speedier, and they were able to catch up to those guys in the Rapids. Didn't have any of the fast.
How did he not start? How did he not start? Like, what are you doing, even wasting your time with Quinnen?
I mean, it's been a thing all year with with Columbus. It's kind of like when you have a bad player that the coach loves, but they're like, he'll turn it around, guys. I promise. That kind of thing for the most part.
One other sad stat I would like to point out. Columbus scored their 20th goal at home this season.
The most, right? Of any team in the MLS.
The Colorado Rapids have scored 14 all year in 16 matches.
That's 14 more than I have. So I'll give them credit for that.
I haven't done the math, but less than a goal a game isn't great.
It's bad.
It's not good.
I'm not good at math. That doesn't sound very good.
I mean, I'll double check the numbers, but
put me on the astrology pod and I'll calculate that real quick.
It's
which planet do we blame for this?
I always blame Mercury.
Which planet is in Gatorade or
Mercury is in Gatorade.
Okay.
Actually, let's ask. Is Mercury in Gatorade?
Thanks a lot, Mercury.
Yeah. Mercedes and Gatorade.
No, it's not.
Maybe it needs to be in retrograde.
Is Mercury in retrograde.com. Here's what we're going to find out. No.
Someone made a website for that.
Something else must be bumming you out. Yeah, the Rapids offense is bumming me out. I was really hoping I could play Mercury.
Real quick, I have a quick question for you guys. I don't know. I saw Cody throw it in the chat. I also asked on Twitter. Should Moise Bombito be playing the 6? Give him more freedom to run that midfield and push up. He has the ball skills. He knows that position. And like Alvon Cook on that back 5 as a left back, as a wing back. And let Moise just cook because he has better ball skills, I think, than Leyva. So,
I mean, look. Yeah, sure. That's what I'm going to say. Why the hell not? Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, baby. His first touch isn't great, which is scary when you get passes from Lawless, right? You're talking 2 chances at a turnover there. So I don't think it would go great, but would I like to see it for 20, 30 minutes at the end of a game? Yeah, why not? I mean, I wouldn't say, hey, let's make him a 6, but sure. He's fast. He has great recovery speed. He gets, power behind the ball. Sure.
I haven't given up on Priest Viking, but when you have, I don't know, man. It feels like there's a huge hole in that place right now. I don't think Ronan's been playing well. I think Danny Leyva has a concrete role. Priest, when he's gone in, he's been a dog, and I liked how he's playing times, but he's been inconsistent. I think once you get that leader at the 6, you'll have a way better understanding of this whole team.
So so one thing I want to touch on, and then we'll get into Flowers here, and we'll talk about the homies at Illegal Pete's, but it has been a brutal schedule. Brutal, right? Ben asked, what can we do? I don't know if we can get into moves. We're going to have a whole podcast for that. But what does the team need to do is rest and get healthy, because you have San Jose at home this Saturday. You have a fresh Yarby. Maybe we get Rubio back, although I don't know. He wasn't practicing last week, so I don't, I'm not going to hold my breath, but maybe Mikey's back. Maybe, you start to see some pieces return. You'll get Cabral back. But then you get a week, you get Orlando on the road. It's a no midweek game. And then you get 11 days and you host Vancouver. 11 days off. So you get, and then going into the Leagues Cup break, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6 at home after that Orlando game. And only one midweek game in that stretch. So if you can rest up in this little stretch right here, you really do have a chance. God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I hate myself.
I hate you too.
You have a chance at building back into something here. You actually really do. And I hate myself for saying it, but
it's only 5 points, man.
So five,
No.
what I say, 5 of 6. So it's really 6 of 8 at home. 6 to 7. Yeah. 6 of 8 at home. If you can get 12, 13 points out of that. I mean, they haven't, I don't know. You're right, B-Ray. I'm not going to hype it up. But I have to put that out there because that really is like a real, like you actually do have a very favorable schedule into Leagues Cup.
What's the saying in AFC Richmond? It's the hope that kills you.
Be a goldfish.
Yeah, they also say be a goldfish.
No,
Yeah.
That's Ted, but we don't got a Ted on this team.
Well, the show's named after him, so
Yeah, but we don't got a
probably-
Ted. We need a Ted. There's no Ted on this damn team.
Where's John B when we need him? Where's John Babiak? Remember when he
Haven't
showed up
dressed
to
as-
Media Cup dressed as Ted Lasso?
he
That's our guy.
was like lead Tasso.
He was
came
like
in.
Tasso.
He came in with fire.
I wish we had Sam Obasanya on the team. That would be tight.
Give me that Jack Grealish looking dude.
Jamie?
Yeah.
Jamie Tart. Yeah, I'll take
I do like
Tart.
Jamie Tart. I still haven't finished season 3, but we're definitely going to do a review podcast to that.
Well, that would actually be fun. That'd be really fun to just get into.
Yeah, we're definitely going to, but I got to finish. Okay, let's give out some flowers here. But that being said, we cannot have a podcast without talking about Illegal Pete's, who are more than happy enough to bring you this episode. Are you ready for the longest happy hour around? This is a question to the two of you, by the way. Not just
Yes.
ad copy. I mean, it is ad
Yes.
copy, but it's also a question for the two of you. Well, guess what? Kicking off. Oh, it already happened this weekend. Illegal Pete's has extended their happy hour 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
How long is it?
5 hours.
I don't get that. Happy hour should not be called happy hour. It should
What
be
should
called
it be
happy
called?
time.
I like that. I
If
love
it's
that.
not an hour, it's false advertisement.
Happy time at Illegal Pete's. Either has a great ring. We should
Done.
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 5 hours of your usual fan favorite deals. Stop by after work and enjoy a few extra margaritas on the patio at happy time price. More of a beer fan, you can grab a house beer bucket for you and your crew. That's 5 16-ounce beers from Great Divide for $15. There's no better way to kick off your summer. Illegal Pete's, your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer. Yeah.
What do you like better, the burritos, buddies, or beers?
Man, that's tough. I mean, I love buds. But how do you know who your buds are unless they go get burritos with you?
So burritos fill you up, beers fuck you up, and buddies
Sure.
lift you up.
Look at that. They all do the work.
So which one are you taking? The lift, the fucked, or the fill?
jeez. Can you
Mary
have
kill.
can you have one without the other?
Say consummate, marry, or kill. Which one are you taking?
Okay. Well, obviously marry burritos. Obviously.
Okay.
I don't drink alcohol, so I
So
will
kill
kill
them.
beer. Yep.
So you'll consummate with your buddies?
Yeah, totally. A helping hand from your friends.
Oh my god, bro. We cannot lose anymore. We need to be happy. This is not okay.
I'm happy. I'm having fun on this podcast, baby. Hey, Duane, you haven't queued me up yet.
I was waiting for who you're
Real quick,
making out with.
real quick before you come up,
burritos or me.
if you marry beer, you might be an alcoholic. That's my only thing. Continue.
If you marry beer,
You might be an alcoholic.
Duane, tee me up, baby.
Mitch's Beat Step of the Week.
Go to the dnvrlocker.com and buy the 2023 Denver Playoffs t-shirt that was done in collaboration with our friends at Illegal Pete's.
I'm not wearing it, but imagine I am.
It's blue, but I'm wearing Maxi. But
and
shirt.
or pint glass.
It's an anthropomorphic basketball like this guy.
That's a big word that I don't understand. But
anthropomorphic? It means
it's a non-human thing,
an
that gets
inanimate
to move
object.
around like a human.
Yes, correct.
I anthropox my dog all the time. Then
no, that doesn't work. It's like how you name your car, right? Like cars don't need a name, but you're anthropomorphizing it by giving it a name. Does that make sense?
Kind of, but continue. I'm taking us off the rails for no reason. Continue.
No, that's it. Do you guys want to look at FOT mob ratings?
No.
I'm down.
No.
I'm down to tell them how wrong or right they are.
Perfect. All right. Anybody, we already know that B-Rays looked. Drop your guesses in the chat. Who had the best rating in the game?
Nicholson because of the goal.
And Duane?
Sure. Nicholson.
Correct. It was Nicholson. Acosta with a 7-5. Quiet game. Sorry.
It was one of those games where he was quiet but did all the little dirty work that kind of helped.
Wait, hang on. Pause. Dustin Hahn, pull up that comment right there. Is this true? Was it Punk Rock Bowling in Vegas over the weekend and saw 2 DNVR shirts? My guy.
What's Punk Rock Bowling? That's what I'm more interested in.
I'll give you one guess.
I am terrified. It could either be illegal
I'm pretty
or the
sure
best
it's
time of
just
your life.
bowling with punk rock bands.
It's bowling, but you have to hate rich people while you're doing it.
Then I've been punk rock bowling all my life.
You're wearing like a cutoff jean jacket with patches on it and you stink.
What if the balls have spikes on them?
Whoa. Cool. All right.
And the alley is like just made of rocks and you have to like get through the rocks.
And there's a bunch of like crushed up PBR cans in the way.
Oh, fire. The pins are just tall boys.
Sick. All right.
You're welcome, America. New game.
Okay, let's go ahead and pull that up there. Yeah, if you can.
Oh, I can and I will.
Flowers from the fellas. Guys, who is taking one for the team and handing out some flowers here? Who's going first?
I'll give some flowers. Everybody that's watching the show.
Let's go. Hit that like.
Like, you guys deserve flowers because you guys are true diehards. That's what we're here for. We're here for you guys, and we appreciate you. Like, every damn time the Rapids lose and I turn this computer on ready to do the show, I think of every single one of you. So I appreciate you guys so much for supporting us, and you guys all deserve a bunch of flowers.
You are a sweetheart, yeah, gotta say.
I took the easy one.
Duane, do you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Sam, right? I mean, you know, the frustration with Sam every time is that he's great getting the ball down, and then when he gets in the box, he kind of gets confused on what to do with it. And today, he did not look confused at all on that goal. He looked like a man who's ready to lay it down and just burn that goalie. And that's what he did. That was awesome angle. I mean, to put it up against the post like that was great. So shout out to Sam. I'm happy for you, buddy. Glad you got that goal. You know,
Yo, are
you
we
deserve
a
it.
Sam podcast now?
Sometimes.
Whoa.
I
Didn't
mean,
see
the
that
thing is,
one
I mean, he came out with energy.
Shut up,
I mean, flying, you know,
Our guy.
and props to him for that.
He was great. He was great. Sam worked harder than anyone on that field tonight. Period. End of story.
You don't need Sam Bisanya when you have Sam Nicholson on your squad.
Yo, Richmond would have avoided relegation with Sam Nicholson. How about that? How about that?
Fire take.
There's a rule. When you have multiple good-looking people on your team, it can be bad.
Yeah, you just have to get the handsomest team.
Jamie Tart and Sam Nicholson together would not
would take over the world.
Yeah, like literally, like Ronaldo, who like
we're talking Club World Cup champions at that point.
They're winning Champions League, CCL, Copa America. They're winning everything all together. Libertadores. They're taking the whole thing.
Leagues Cup.
First team to ever take a Leagues Cup and Europa Cup in the same year.
Wow. Interesting. I gotta give flowers to J-Lu. I thought he had that dog. I mean, look.
Totally did.
Had some great runs. He was putting Quinnan in the torture chamber. Like, and I think he wants a couple touches back. He was about 1 inch offside on a goal. He was pressing, he was working, and he was right to be mad when he was getting subbed off. He really was. It was his
subbed off.
It was his best game of the season. And it really sucks to see him get pulled. And I'm sure it was just to keep his legs for this weekend. Because look, this team wants to win at home. So, they do. They want to win at home. So I get it, but he was playing so well, and I think you just got to let him go for it. And hopefully it continues, man, because when you're pressing, that's hard, right? And it's generally thankless, right? Except for the one guy that creates the turnover and gets the play, right? So Sam, it was Sam's night, but Lewis was working it just as hard. He was pressing the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is never comfortable to get a long ball off. He was running and running and running, and almost had his turnover for a goal. If not for some sweeper keeper action. And I hope he keeps it going, because it's easy to not get a result out of that and cool off. Right. And I think if he brings that same energy the next 2 games, we'll see a Lewis goal. At least one. Right. So flowers to J-Lo. Yeah, you're up.
I had something in my mind, but I'm gonna give him to Bombito, man. I'll still give him to Bombi. I think
Bombi. We love Bombi, dude. We love him.
Bombi is literally the light at the end of the tunnel. When you look at Bombi, that's the light. That's who you hope that you can get. One of the reasons I do want him at the 6 is because if you have him at the 6 and you become the superstar, great. You found your piece that's gonna take you to the next level. Especially as a 22-year-old. So he can only improve. He can only get better. Give me Bombi, man. I'm a Bombi guy. And I think he deserves all the flowers in the world. Give him the whole damn bouquet. Give him the store. Whatever he needs, whatever he wants, all his.
Duane, do you have any flowers you'd like to give?
I mean, my last one would be to that Cole Bassett goal. Cody mentioned it too. I mean, that goal, if somebody had said they rage quit earlier so they missed it, go back and watch it, man. I mean, that was a beauty. Like
I said, there's not a lot of players that can make that goal happen.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bummer because it was a bummer because it's going to be overshadowed by the fact that it didn't matter. But man, just taking it in a vacuum and looking at that goal, man, that was the goal Bassett we've been waiting for. It was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Absolutely. I don't have any other flowers.
I had something that I had in mind, but I can't think of it right now.
I mean, okay, no, I do have flowers. I want to see Remy play more.
Yeah.
I want to see Remy play. That dude had those goals he is scoring in R2 are just like, I need more. I need to see that he is so good. I need to see Hanya and I need to see Remy. Because what is the point of having this development team if you don't pull them up in the summer when they've been killing it in the first half of the season? So that is like at minimum something I want to see at the break. Because wouldn't it be cool for the Cabral twins to be up top in this 5-3-2-ish thing? That'd be so fun.
Sure.
Yeah. Get them confused. Just running around and be like, who am I? Who am I?
You're on the wrong guy, dude.
Doesn't matter at this point. Yes.
Kevin's over there. Yeah, no.
Full anime style.
That's it for flowers.
I thought I had something else, but I just can't remember right now, honestly.
You guys, do you know what tomorrow is?
Oh man, such a good day tomorrow.
It's gonna be one of the greatest nights of our life.
The Denver Nuggets are in the NBA Finals. Let's go.
Chances you see Marco Illich? Like
really?
Like, what are the chances? I'm asking that you see Marco Illich out there.
I sent some people at the team the 100 Invisible Threads, our Serbian documentary that we made last year when the Nuggets guys went out, and I said, please send this over to him, and hopefully he watches it. He said he hasn't met Jokic yet and really wants to. You would hope if you bring a Serbian in to a KSE team, you get to meet Jokic, but he only has about 2 weeks because win or lose, that's whether it's a parade or the series is over and they're going home, Jokic is in Sombor at the horse track 3 days later.
That's the thing. So many logical things that should be happening with the Cronkies are not happening. It's
what
not.
Do you mean?
It doesn't cost you any money to put Marco and Jokic together and make some big deal out of it just for Rapids fans and earn some goodwill.
He doesn't need to.
Again,
Denver is about the Nuggets right now.
Again, but I don't care if he needs to or not. He owns the team. Like, this is what good owners do, and that's what I mean. Like, good owners.
That's the point right there.
That's what
good owners do. Yeah.
But that's what
they
that's
are
what
good
I'm
owners because they're about to win a Stanley Cup, an NBA Finals, and a Super Bowl in the span of a year and a half.
They're good owners of other teams that aren't soccer.
They're good at hiring people.
They're good owners. They're good owners.
They're good at hiring people. I wouldn't go as far as owners. They're good. They're good bosses.
Get down to the DNVR bar. Doors open at 3. You should probably be in line before then if you want a table. If you are a member, if you are a diehard, you get no cover charge. If you aren't, it's a $10 cover charge, but you get a free Breck brew out of the deal. So really it's like a $4 cover charge. We're going to have a ton of merch. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to be rocking and rolling all night long. Saturday night, we have a big party. So if you're coming into town for a game or to just kind of feel Denver and then the fun that you can have with a championship level team, we're going to be throwing a party on Saturday night before game 2 on Sunday, where I will be. I'm very excited. Nothing that can happen Saturday can ruin my Sunday. That's the best part. I'm past it. Nothing. Like, go ahead and lose. I don't care because I have finals tickets.
It's not gonna matter, Mitch. I hate how down I am on the Rapids, man. I hate myself.
When you only went 2 through 16, yeah, I think so.
And that's the show, everybody. Have a great week.
My wife. Wait, no, my wife when we were watching the game, and she kind of just watched the Rapid score, and I'm like, finally. And then she kind of zoned out until the second half, and then she's like, wait, weren't they up 1-0? What happened? Now they're 3-1. How does this happen? I'm like, you're bad. When they're bad, this happens constantly. But anyways, give us a like on this video, please. We'd really appreciate it. If you're listening through a podcast platform, which we are a podcast, quick reminder to everybody out there, just go to the video and give it a like. And if you're listening to a podcast platform, go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us a 5-star review. If you have nothing nice to say, please don't say it at all. And follow us on DNVR_Rapids. We really appreciate that. It helps out a lot. It shows that people are interacting with us, and let Mitch know how you really feel about the Rapids. Just randomly tag them and stuff. Like if you see a funny meme about not even involving the Rapids, just tag DNV_Rapids.
Yeah.
If you see a video you think is hilarious, just tag us. It'll be a lot of fun.
I'm really quick with the retweet. I mean, whoever runs that account.
Favorite content of the every Saturday is Mitch responding to himself, and I love that so much.
Look, who's responding to who? I don't know. It
I
could be
know.
anybody. Admin knows ball, you know? I don't know.
Pepper Ridge Farm knows.
I don't know. Anyways, go to the locker, become a diehard. And even after a 6-game winning streak, you still know what it is, baby.
Losing streak.
What did I say?
Winning. The
No.
complete opposite.
Even after a 6-game losing streak. Edit that out in post. Even after a 6-game
We don't
losing
edit anything here. It all stays in.
Even after a 6-game losing streak, it's still up the pits.